What's up everybody, welcome to Automation Anomaly, and in this tutorial video we are going to continue with Python basics. So in my last tutorial, in my first tutorial we finished with variables in Python. After that we seen the strings in Python, and today we are going to see the numbers and data structures in the Python. So let's get started. First of all we'll finish with numbers, and after that we'll continue with data structure. And unconsciously in our first tutorial we already covered a little bit basics of numbers, because at that time when we were making variables, at that time we seen the two types of numbers, the string and floating. So let's continue with that one. So mainly in numbers we are having two types of number. One is real numbers, one are imaginary numbers, and we are going to focus on real numbers only. And real numbers also subcategorized in few category like integer, floating, uh, and these are also further classified in double integer, unsigned integer, float. So mainly we are going to focus on integer and float type of numbers only. So we can do all type of maths directly in the Python cell only. And as you can see, and if we check the type of first one, it should give us integer value. Yes, it is giving us integer. And if we check type of second one, it should give us float, and it is giving us a float value. Now Python programming also follows the basic rule of the mathematics, which is DMAS: division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So first priority has been given to division, after that second priority is given to multiplication, after that addition and subtraction. So let me explain you this concept with the help of one example. So let's take 5 divided by 6 plus 6 multiply with 3 minus 2. Let me remove these spaces. After that we gonna break it down. So this is the answer we are getting, 16.83. Now let's do it in another way. 5 divided by 6 plus 6 divided by 3 minus 2. So again I am getting same answer, because division first, after that multiplication, after that subtraction, and after that addition. So that's why I'm getting the same answer again. But if I change the order, like 5 divided by 6 plus 6 multiply with 3 minus 2, so now my whole answer is going to change. See, so we check. So 5 divided by 12, I'm getting 0.4166, which is equal to this one. Why? Because now we are inside the brackets. So now again we are going to follow the DMAS rule. So for that, here I find the multiplication. So first of all, 6 plus 6 is going to be 12, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 12 into 1, I'll get 12. So 5 divided by 12, 0.4166. So I'm getting the same answer. So order always matter when we are doing multiplication, addition. After that, if you want to do the square, then there is a one library math that we can import, and we can use the square root and square and all that option from that. But let's do without maths first of all, without importing the library. So the way we can do is, we have to use the multiplication sign 2 times, and if we run this one, I'm getting 25. So there is one more method, 5 into 5, I'm getting 25. But with double multiplication sign, we can get the square of this one. Likewise, if you want to find out the square root, you have to use just 0.5, because square root is we can do by taking the half square of anything. So I'll get 5 here. And since we are doing this is my floating value, that's why here I'm also getting floating value, and this is my integer value. So any floating value, if you see any answer after there is a point, even though it's a 0, like 5.0, now this is a float value. So we can check also string. Oh, sorry, my bad, we have to check the type. So it is giving us a float. Also we can change the type from float to integer and integer to float. For example, if I just simply write down float here, I will get float. But oh yes, it's supposed to give us a float by default, but let's change it to integer. So now I'm getting 5. And for example, I have this type of answer. So this is and a floating value, if I want to convert this one in integer value, I should get 0 because it's going to round it up and it is going to take the minimum nearest value. So 5 by 12 is 0.41, so it is going to take it as a 0.4, and 0.4 is near to 0 compared to 1. And even if you are having 0.96, for example I am having 0.967, so if you are trying to convert this into integer, again it is going to get us 0 only. Let us check again. Yeah, so it should get us 0. Even if you put 9999, it will get us, it should get us 0 only. But if you put 1.1, then I should get 1. So this is the basic numbers in Python. Also we can do modulus, so we can do that with the use of percentage sign. So if I divide 5 by 2, then I'm getting 1 modulus. So here I'm getting, so instead of this one, let us put 3. So 5 divided by 3, so in the end I will have 2. So this is how we can do it. Also, if you want to directly convert and floating value to nearest integer value, we can use double division sign for that one. What I mean is, if I want to do 5 divided by 2, it should give us 2.5. But if I want to get the round value, integer value, then I can simply use double division sign. So I will always get the integer value, so that we don't have to change our number from floating to integer. So this will always give us an integer value only. For example, if I divide 6 by 5.5, I will get 1.09. But let me use the double division sign, and I'm getting 1.0. So this is all about numbers, and after that we have to stage a bit on data structure. So data structure is very important in any of the programming language, and for Python as a beginner, if you understood data structure very well, then you can crack any of the interview, because in the interview they are going to ask you the logical question and data structure problems. So in that one they are going to see like what type of data structure you are going to use for what type of problem. So sorry guys, so we have total 6 data structures in Python, and again I have made a small drawing for you guys to explain the data types. So mainly we are having 6 data types. One is number, string, tuples, list, sets, and dictionary, and these are divided in 2 categories. One is immutable and second one is mutable. So what is mutable and what is immutable? For that also I have written here. Immutable means unchangeable, and mutable is immutable is unchangeable, that we can't modify, and these are the mutables, data types that we can change. For example, list, sets, dictionaries. We haven't covered any of these, but in my next tutorial we are going to see list and sets probably. After that we'll see dictionary and tuples, and we already finished with numbers and strings. Okay, so let's start with immutables first of all. So immutable means we cannot change it, we cannot modify it. So number we cannot change it, string we cannot change it, and tuples, some people call it as tuple, tuples, whatever you want to call it. I just simply say tuples. So I will explain you in a bit what we mean by changeable and unchangeable. And after that we have list, sets, dictionaries. All of these one are data structures. In different places we are going to use different data structures. For example, what people don't know is, like, if you know about tuples and list, the difference. So most probably you would be know the brackets used in both of these one are different. So in this one we are going to use the round brackets or parentheses, and in the list we are going to use the square brackets. In dictionary we are going to define by using the curly brackets. Sets is again unchangeable, and it is similar to list, but in sets we'll be having all the unique data. Inside list I can have multiple items that are repeating, but in sets, if we want to avoid it, we can just simply convert our list into sets. So in this one we will not have any repetitive data. So sets always contains the most unique values only. And let me explain you by taking example what we mean by immutable and mutable. So let me create some blank cells. So I have a string, for example, let me take a variable hello. If I want to change any of these value, I cannot change it. uh, if you recall our last tutorial, if we want to check the index of any of these character, that for that we just have to simply pass the index number, and index number in Python always start from 0. So h is 0, e1, l2, oops, then 4 and 5. Likewise, that for example, if I want to grab e, then I will just simply pass 1, so I'm getting letter e. If I want to change this one by o, it will give me error, type error, string object does not support item assignment, so I cannot change this one. So for example, if I want to create a list, so I will just create a list. Don't worry about this one, guys, I am going to explain you in my upcoming tutorial, but just to explain what is mutable, immutable. So for example, if I check the type, so it is giving me list, and if we check the type of text, it should give us return us the string. So we are getting string, str means string. And if I want to change any of this element, so my list, and I want to change number 2, so 0 1, so it is at the first indexed, and I want to change it by 5, it doesn't give me any error. And let us check our list, so 153, now it has changed. Likewise, if I have any number, for example, a is equal to 6 divided by 5, and if I want to change any of this one, I cannot change it. If I want to change the whole value, I can do it, because we have assigned a variable, I can change the value of the variable, but I cannot change this index position. I cannot do 5 by 6 by using this one. Even we don't have any indexing method for the numbers. So if we press a dot tab, so these are the only functions that are available for the numbers. So if you want to convert it into hex value, we can do it. So these are the 6 data types, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So altogether we are having 6 data types, and we are going to see each and every one with some examples. So we have already finished with numbers and strings. In my next tutorial, we are going to cover the list, and I will try to cover tuple also in that tutorial. And after that, or maybe we're gonna see list or sets together. I'm not quite sure yet. And after that, again, we are going to see the dictionary. So I hope this tutorial video helps you guys, to all newcomers and beginners who are getting just started with Python programming. And if you guys any more doubt, you can always ask me by writing your queries in comment section below, and I will definitely like to help you. So keep watching tutorials, and if you like this tutorial, then please give us a big thumbs up. And if you are new to Python programming, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, because uh, I'm going to make more videos on Python programming. And if you are intermediate, I have already launched my image classification tutorial series by using Keras. So if you want to learn the deep learning, and if you want to see how Python is really helpful to solve real life practical examples, or if you want to understand the practical use case where you want to implement the Python, so for that you can refer my image classification tutorial series. Also, I have started with OpenCV, and OpenCV stands for Open Source Computer Vision Library. It is open source library, and in that one I have just launched just one video. It is based on filter, but I'm going to create more videos on Har Cascade classifier uh, to detect face in the video or image. And for that we are going to use the webcam. Also, you can pass any video if you have, and we are going to make an image classifier. So hope to see you next time, guys. Till then, take care and goodbye.